Hi guys, it's Crystal here and welcome to Politics in Pajamas. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you like what you see, I hope you'll consider subscribing and clicking the like button underneath this video. It really helps me out. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about somebody named Michael Bloomberg. I was going to say that if you live in any Super Tuesday state, you've probably seen his ads, but I think at this point, if you live in any state or possibly any country, you might have seen his ads. He is currently running for president, and a lot of people are under the impression that he might be the candidate to save the Democratic Party from itself. He might be the only person who has enough money to beat Trump, and perhaps he is the savior we've all been waiting for. You can probably guess how I feel about this, but if the question is Michael Bloomberg the candidate we've been waiting for, the answer is no, he's not. No, he's not. He's not a good candidate. Okay, but why is he a bad candidate? Well, let's start with the obvious. He's a Republican. He's literally been a Republican until 2018, and that's when he switched over to being a Democrat. Okay, maybe you're cool with him being a Republican. He's also massively sexist and massively racist, and these are not opinions that I have. These are based on actual data of actual policies that he implemented and actual lawsuits that have been brought against him. If there was like one small sexual harassment lawsuit brought against him like 20 years ago, you might be able to say, no, he's not like sexist. There was just one misunderstanding. But there are so many that he refuses to say how many there are. He has non-disclosure agreements with these women, and he refuses to let them all out of these non-disclosure agreements. He refuses to even say how many there are. You know what? I'm talking about how sexist and racist he is, and then I remembered that Trump is president and nothing matters, and we're all living in a pointless void, and we're all gonna die. Anyway, let's go back to the topic at hand. He's super sexist. He defended some of his remarks during the debate by saying, oh, what? They just didn't like a joke that I said. Seriously? How many times do you know about women who just didn't like a joke I said, bringing a lawsuit against somebody, getting to the point where you need a non-disclosure agreement? He also said he couldn't remember the jokes that he said, which means these instances were so horrible for the women involved that they brought a lawsuit or an allegation against him that resulted in an NDA, but so not on his radar that he can't even remember what he said. There's just too many. How could he be expected to remember, right? Okay, let's talk about the racism. This dude implemented stop and frisk. Stop and frisk is a policy where police are allowed to stop you for any reason just because you look at them with a side eye and search you. He literally advised police officers to throw people against the wall while searching them. This program did not reduce crime. This program was focused on minority neighborhoods, to the point that Mike Bloomberg said on tape that they should have been stopping white people less than they were. They stopped so many young black men that they stopped 106% of the population of young black men in New York City, which means they stopped more young black men than there are young black men in New York City. So you might be thinking, well, obviously these people deserved to be stopped by the police. Maybe they were doing something wrong. A lot of these people were not doing anything wrong, and these people were often stopped on the way home from school or work, and it discouraged people from going to school and work. It left PTSD effects in the neighborhoods. It was a horrible program. And a lot of people told him it was a horrible program, and he just ignored them. And you know when he changed his mind? When he decided to run for president. He is not sorry about this. He's like in his 70s. This is not something that he's done some soul searching on and come out and talked about how amazed or how sad it was that he did these things. He apologized because he's running for president. Really quick, also want to talk about the fact that Michael Bloomberg is worth $61 billion. Under plans for taxes from Bernie or Warren, he might have to be expected to pay about $3.5 billion. That means he can literally expect to pay $2 billion to run for president of the United States, and he'd still come out ahead. He is running for president to avoid paying taxes on plans that Bernie and Warren have come out and said they would like to implement. Okay, but let's go one step further. Something that's come up a lot is that he is paying people to support him in ways that typically happen in a grassroots effort. So he's paying people to post about him on social media and to tell their friends that they like him and to canvass for him. And it's coming out that some of these people are sending text messages to their friends to get paid that say like vote for Bloomberg or that they like Bloomberg, and then literally following it up with please disregard, vote Bernie or Warren. And these are not people who actually support him. He's trying to actually buy things that you can't buy, like our humanity and our hearts and our souls for candidates. So the thing is, people are saying in reports that they're taking these jobs because they're so like underemployed or desperate for employment and they need the money. And Mike Bloomberg is giving them money that they need, but it's a short-term fix. It is not something that is going to actually help our economic structures in this country or the people that are struggling in the long term. You can't just give someone $2,500 for a month of work and then think that you've helped somebody dealing with economic issues. Michael Bloomberg doesn't actually have plans to help people dealing with those economic issues in the same way that Bernie or even Elizabeth Warren does. So it really bothers me that we have a man running for president that is willing to spend, $1 billion to do this because it would still be less than the taxes we expect him to pay. And the only reason we expect him to pay those taxes is because he got to where he is by benefiting off of the foundations of our country and the services that our governments provide. Everything from police departments to the roads, to the military, to the fire department. These are services that we pay for with taxes. And all we're saying is that since Michael Bloomberg relied on those services, that now that he has a lot of wealth, he should also give back and support those services so that other people can have a structural chance at getting where they need to go with actual hard work. And he's trying to put band-aids on things, and he's trying to use his wealth to buy things that you're not supposed to be able to buy. So in conclusion, do not vote for Michael Bloomberg. He's awful. He's literally awful. Please tell everyone you know how awful he is. There are so many ads out there that people need to hear other voices about how he's not a good guy. Right now, I think he's in third or fourth for the projections for winning the nomination, and that is too high. That is too high. So go out there, tell your friends how awful he is, and make sure you support the candidate that you do like, because that's going to be how you actually affect change in this country. See you next time.